Welcome to Wine Time. I'm your host, Kate Voltan. Welcome to another episode where I talk about all things business, all things mummy, and we do it over wine because we can. So if you haven't already, go grab your glass of wine and come on back because we're about to get things started.
It's wine time.
The first time I heard the name Bethany Mota, I was at a conference and I was watching Mitch Joel speak, author, by the way, of a phenomenal book called Control Alt Delete. If you haven't read it, read it. I know, tangent, sorry, it's Friday. Okay, so back on track. So Bethany Mota, no clue who she was, but I learned a lot that day. And I learned that no one else in that audience knew who she was either, other than this one woman who happened to have a teenage daughter. And Bethany Mota is an online YouTube sensation that really speaks to other teenage girls. So if you're not a teenage girl, or a parent of a teenage girl, you likely haven't heard of her, and that's okay. But what I learned in that instant is that she has 7 million subscribers to her YouTube channel. 7 million, that is phenomenal. So there's something to be learned by going after your target market specifically. And not only has Bethany had huge success online, she's taken it elsewhere. She has her own clothing line. She was a guest judge on Project Runway. She most recently was on Dancing with the Stars. This teenage girl has done something right. So today, I'm going to share with you the top 3 things that I learned from Bethany Mota.
It's wine time.
So number 1, don't try to please everyone. You can't, right? Know your target market for your business and stick to it. There's something to be said for that. There's a reason that Bethany Mota has done so well, because she speaks the language of other teenage girls, right? She talks about hair and makeup and clothes, and she uses a tone that they really like, and she uses terminology that they can really relate to. Because of all those things, she stayed core to who she is. She stayed extremely authentic, a teenage girl that talks about all things that other teenage girls love. It's brilliant. And she did it so well that she has 7 million subscribers. So if I were you, I would stick to your target market and really go after them really hard before you think about having to expand into new markets. It's definitely food for thought.
It's wine time.
So number 2, engagement is key. Yes, it's key. Bethany does this so well. She's extremely engaged with her fan base. And she does this because she understood that she needed to have a two-way conversation with them, otherwise it wouldn't work. So early on, she would feature their posts, their comments in her YouTube videos. And there's nothing more incredibly, attractive to a teenage girl than to be featured online. They're like, ah! That's how they do it. It's brilliant, but it's also important in everyone's business, because if you're only pushing your product or service on someone, you're not actually engaging them or helping them in some way, or what's your added value, you're likely not just pushing them away, you're pushing them out of your store. So really think about it, and if you haven't started, get engaged with your customer base today.
It's wine time.
So number 3, break the rules. Bethany does this really well. She has an 18-minute video of her room, of how she decorated her room. I would need a lot of wine to watch all 18 minutes. I can tell you that much, but her fan base love it. So she pushed the envelope where we say you have 3 seconds to make an impact, 30 seconds to tell them something new, and 3 minutes is the top. Your videos can't be any longer than that or you'll lose your engagement. Well, obviously she pushed the envelope on that, and obviously stats don't always apply to every situation. So I challenge you to try something different. Try and do something a little bit new that you haven't done before. It can't hurt to try, and ultimately, by breaking the rules, sometimes you can see some pretty phenomenal results. So don't be scared and go break the rules.
It's wine time.
So there you have it, my top 3 things that I learned from a teenage girl, Bethany Mota. Number 1, you can't be everything to everyone. Number 2, engagement is key. And number 3, break the rules. I think what Bethany Mota did is pretty incredible. She's kind of reversed the way we think about fame. Instead of being a famous actress or singer or just famous period and then building her social media following, she did it the other way around. She had a social media following and then become famous in more traditional media channels. I think that's pretty cool. I really do. And here's what I know. I'm never too proud to keep learning, and I encourage you guys to learn every single day in your business. even if it means learning from a teenage girl, because I can tell you, you can learn in every single situation and it'll make you a better business owner.
It's wine time.
Thank you for joining me for another fun-filled episode of Wine Time. If you haven't already, please subscribe to Wine Time. That way it automatically shows up in your inbox. And if you haven't, download my free ebook. It's free, people. Moms and Biz Survival Guide. I share with you all kinds of great tips on how to survive mommyhood and running a business. And as always, please check out my website at katevoltan.com for all kinds of great resources. So until next time, enjoy your wine.
You're a mom and a business guru. Take a sip, enjoy the clip. It's wine time.